support for this research project is very beneficial in helping acquire the equipment that we need, some supplies that are depleted throughout when we're doing data collection, and a little bit of support for students too to help engage with the project. This study is looking at limb symmetry index in individuals who undergo ACL reconstruction, which we call LSI, and that is the ratio of strength between their operative limb and the non-operative limb. When they are going through rehabilitation, there are obvious deficits in the operative limb just because they can't load the muscles the same, and so we're monitoring how their muscle mass is changing over time through rehabilitation. And then when they are, I would say most people 6 to 8 months, maybe 9 months, sometimes a little bit longer, they then do return to sport testing. And at that point, the physical therapists that we work with are looking at the percent strength of their good leg versus their operative leg. And the goal is to meet at least 90%, where we know that the strength of the operative limb has at least somewhat caught back up to what it initially started at. But with this study, we're also monitoring their non-operative leg because we know that that is unloaded more than typical when they're undergoing this rehab. So there might be strength deficits in their, what we call the good leg, and nobody's really documented that, how much that decreases throughout their 6 to 9 months of rehab, in hopes that the limb symmetry index is still comparable at the end, but they are close to where they started beforehand, not just hitting 90% of what the good leg dropped to by the end of the project. We hope to potentially modify how the rehabilitation structure looks like within physical therapy training sessions, where potentially we enhance the strength of the non-operative leg alongside the rehabilitation of the operative leg, so that there aren't imbalances throughout the entire process. We want to help maintain strength as long as possible. And alongside with that, we want to monitor and maintain muscle size the entire time, because there is a pretty sufficient amount of atrophy and muscle loss that we have seen. And our hope is to find different ways, different modalities within that physical therapy session, or kind of the interaction with the physical therapist, that we can train them differently or load the muscle differently, or find other types of interventions that'll help maintain muscle mass and strength in both legs throughout the 6 to 9 months of rehab time.